while my computer was out of commission, I worked on a deck in secret and even went 4-2 in 2 separate vintage challenges. You're not going to believe this. Black, white cats. Okay, welcome back, Vintage Gamers. Wednesday night, and you know Wednesday night means we do things a little off the wall, we do things a little experimental, and this is actually not that experimental as it's a proven list, as in I have played cats in Vintage in 2 challenges, and in both challenges I went 4-2, one of them getting 9th or 10th on breakers. So this is a deck that has worked for me in the past. I was playing this deck a lot when my computer was broken and I wasn't streaming. So I haven't actually played this deck on stream, so this is the time on a nice Wednesday night to show you my cat's brew. This is black, white, I guess mostly mono white, aggro with Lurrus. Lurrus is the big one here. And then we are going to utilize the modern energy, it's not really energy package, but it does have energy in it, of Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, and a Johnny, the Flip a Johnny here. I guess this is more of a Modern Horizons package. That's, I guess, what we'll call it. This is a package that is proven across multiple formats now. Modern, I even see it seeing play in Legacy. I've played it on stream in Vintage in a blue shell that worked pretty well. And this is just like the most powerful white cards that cost 1 and 2 mana that have been printed. And obviously they were all printed in Modern Horizons. So I'm going to combine that with Cavern of Souls, which I think is the key to all of these Hate Bear style decks, in a shell that is mostly going to use cats, which synergizes well with our Lurrus. So you have Ocelot Pride here as a cat, a Johnny as a cat. You have Relic Warder, which is one of the stronger vintage cats, gets exiles, artifacts, or enchantments. This card was a lot stronger when Urza Saga was not restricted. Unfortunately, they did end up restricting Urza Saga, so this card is definitely less powerful now. But still a very powerful effect in Vintage, you know, hits Oath of Druids, hits Hollow One, those kind of things. And then Leonian Arbiter, who is not really seeing as much play nowadays, but used to be a pretty big staple in this style of deck in Modern. Players can't search libraries, but they can pay 2 to ignore that effect until end of turn. There is a lot of searching libraries happening in Vintage, though, with Urza Saga being restricted, that is happening less. You can see all these cool cards that were really strong a little while ago are all now less interesting because of the Urza Saga restriction, but that's where we're at in the format. There are still lots of searching of libraries going on right now. Demonic, Vampiric, Tutors, Lorien Revealed is a big search. Fetchland, obviously a big search. Chat and I were just talking about a bunch of different ones, Doomsday, and et cetera, et cetera. So this card does still have a lot of power, and you don't really need Ghost Quarter to use this card. You just need to make sure this card is actually hitting, you know, there are enough decks that are searching libraries normally, and that is the case right now. Though it does make Path to Exile just better than Swords to Plowshares. The reason you kind of want to play Path to Exile in these decks instead of playing Swords anyways is because you do need to tempo out your opponent and keep their life total low, where Swords gaining a ton of life off of things like exiling an Atraxa or a Construct or a Hollow One, something like that is kind of prohibitive to what your game plan is. So a lot of times most Vintage decks won't play more than 1 basic anyways, so the downside here isn't very high, and obviously with the Arbiter, sometimes you can ignore that downside entirely. I am going to play this deck with Cabal Therapies as my main piece of interaction. I had to up the black count, which is why you see some concealed courtyards here. I used to have some Urza's Baubles in this deck, but I wasn't super happy with how they were playing. So now we have a couple different cards to help us against the combo decks of Vintage, mostly being Cabal Therapy and Deafening Silence. I'm also including a Vexing Bauble here, Probe to help the therapy, and Misstep because you're just pretty weak to Swords to Plowshares and Fatal Push and those kind of cards. The nice part about Cabal Therapy is it plays very well with a Johnny, where you can immediately flip your Johnny by sacrificing the cat token. A Johnny is our main way to start getting really large with, going wide with very high damage cats. Unfortunately, I did have a Glimmer Lens in this deck to be the red permanent for a Johnny, but I decided that was too cute. So we're going to just not be able to do damage with our Johnny. We're just going to be able to make cats and make our cats bigger. Also, the -4 does come up from time to time, where you can, I think it's a Cataclysm effect, But I had an opponent where I had made them sacrifice like 5 creatures with the Ajani ultimate as well. So Ajani, I think, is one of the main linchpins of this deck. It's a super strong card. I think this card should see more play in Vintage. It should probably see play in regular Lurrus blue decks. It's just that strong of a card, but it's seeing some play here and there. Yeah, I just chose to do Courtyards over Godless Shrines. We'll see if that comes back to bite me at all, but there's a lot of attacking right now, so it's probably okay. If I lose a game because of it, then you can blame me later. Sideboard is very, very important for these style decks. We have 4 Stony Silence because the Jewel matchup is a huge problem. 4 Containment Priest is a nice one because most of the time you're naming Cavern on cat because almost all of our creatures are cats. But the Guide of Souls is not a cat, it is a human cleric. But you don't name human, name cleric. If instead you name cleric, cleric actually is the creature type of both Relic Warder and Arbiter. So Containment Priest being a cleric is very nice and also just extremely good against the Oath matchup, which can be kind of annoying, while also doubling up versus the Bazaar decks. I do have some extra swords in the board because I do think you need like 6 removal spells for mono white initiative and even the Lurrus control decks these days. And then I have extra Ravenous Traps for Dredge and Mindbreak Traps for combo. So the format has changed quite a bit since I was 4-2ing with this deck, but hopefully the changes I've made here will help us a little bit, and we can see how it goes in this Vintage League. Okay, welcome to round 1. We got a Mirror, very powerful wizard. Usually on Lurrus Brews nowadays. Playing a lot of Grixis Lurrus recently, so could be a pretty fun matchup. I have an Ocelot Pride and a Deafening Silence and a Mental Misstep. Yeah, this looks fine. Fair enough, fair enough. I'm doing a whole Whirlwind tour. We're going to do Eternal Weekend into 4 Seasons into Eternal Weekend. Should be a lot of fun. I'm a little like less enthused after I've seen the current state of Vintage, but it's about the gathering, so. Oh, did I forget to? Yeah, okay, yes. So we have replaced the Concealed Courtyards with Silent Clearings. Thank you, Randall, for bringing that up. This is just a better choice. I just couldn't remember it at the time of deck building. The state of Vintage, well, they restricted Saga, and everything has gotten more all in. So it's a lot of jamming. It's like the Lurrus decks are the only like controlling things, and then everyone else is jamming. I don't really think Deafening Silence is the play here. I'd like to get my Ocelot Pride going. Yeah, who could have thought the the slow make creatures land was actually slowing down the format and keeping people from casting Psychic Frogs on time. Too funny. Yeah, maybe Mono White makes a comeback. I don't know. Don't know. Jewel is really powerful. Oath is really powerful. Bazaar's bizarre still. Aha! Got him. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Mental Misstep, still good. Oh, hello, Black Lotus. What do I want to do here? Yeah. The decks didn't really... No deck really went away. But, things definitely changed. Wish I could Wasteland. Basic Islands are so broken. I think I'm just gonna play Arbiter. Yeah, well, there's more Jewel now. We were kind of hoping that restricting Saga would hurt Jewel, but it just made the deck kind of more all in, and it's better. It's actually they actually like cut lands, and like the Sagas are gone, right? So now they play City of Traders, so they actually can cast rings and jewels more often, and Sink in the Stupor got printed, so now they have blue cards, so they can cast Force of Will more often. It's not a good thing, for sure. But I got a cat now, so that's good. No, that would be against the spirit of the format, Grim. You can't be making Leyline of Stop Moxen. They already restricted Vexing Bauble for that. All right. Psychic Frog is quite good against my army of 1/1s and 1/2s here. I need one of them Path to Exiles. Vexing Bauble. That does a whole lot of nothing. I guess it loops with my Lurrus if my Lurrus resolves. So let's go Black Lotus. Vexing Bauble. I want to Wasteland them. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to play Deafening Silence. I'm definitely going to Wasteland, though. Playing Deafening Silence, I guess I can't really play my Black Lotus back with a Bauble in play anyways, but my Bauble makes me resolve my Lurrus if I draw a land. Let's just play a Deafening Silence. Definitely no attacking into the Psychic Frog, unfortunately, but if he attacks me, then at least I have a nice little swing back. True Hero, the most powerful wizard in Vintage. Highest win rate player. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. That's an Inti, isn't it? That is an Inti. We are playing some very typical Vintage Magic here with Psychic Frog Inti versus Ocelot Pride Arbiter. Ooh, look at the combination gaming. When you discard a card with Psychic Frog, you can exile your top card with Inti. My opponent did have Basic Island, Volcanic Island, Underground Sea. I guess they had a fetch land for the first one, but yes, my cat has not been great so far. All right, attacking. They are getting a lot of value. I'm playing some cats. Some cats. Underworld Breach. Saga got exiled. This thing is trampling? This thing is trampling? Man, Inti is so good. That's a card that's criminally underplayed in Vintage. Very strong Magic card. Unfortunately, I don't know if I like our spot here. A land to play a Lurrus would be nice. That's a second Ocelot Pride. I can't get my life link with this 2/2 in play though. I need a what's the card called? The Luminarch Aspirant is what I need. I kind of needed to hit a land to play Lurrus. If I can get like the Guide of Souls, we might be in a very playable spot. But without the Guide of Souls, I am falling a little bit behind on this board. Maybe we just cycle something. Not sure. Even if I get a land next turn, all I can do is play the Lurrus. I don't even get to buy back the Lotus until the Bauble goes away. Maybe we just crack the Bauble. It's not like they're keeping Force of Wills in their hand. I guess I can attack with the Arbiter, because they're never going to block with the Inti. Unless they have a fetch, I guess. But I'm so far, but I'm like, I actually really need to gain life. I don't think that attack is very good. Well, we have a 2-mana Cat Lord. It's a Johnny. Flip a Johnny is pumping cats. We just don't have one. Discarding Demonic Tutor. Or no, discarding Spell Pierce and revealing Demonic Tutor, which is not very castable. So, like, if I attack and then they have a removal spell... Oh, I guess this thing just becomes trampling, right? Okay, maybe I did just want... No, I kind of need to... Alright, so they're out of action here. They've discarded all the cards they can discard. They're going to buy Lurrus. Oh, they paid to ignore the effect, and then they're going to Demonic Tutor. Oh, I see. Okay. So they paid for Arbiter, and they're going to Demonic Tutor. Well, they can't Demonic Tutor, though, because they played Moxjet, and I have a Deafening Silence. Oh, mistakes were made. However, this thing flies, which is a huge problem. I need a Path to Exile. Yeah, I mean, my Deafening Silence and my Arbiter did like stop their Underworld Breach, Demonic Tutor, all of that stuff. Unfortunately, I'm just not beating a Psychic Frog at the moment. Cavern of Souls. I mean, at some point I can attack with a Pride and just get a 1/1 and get 2 life. And at some point they're gonna run out of flying, but next turn they can discard 2 and attack for 7. Oh, actually they can discard. Kind of depends. I might need to attack this turn to lifelink actually. All right, let's buy Lurrus. Well, actually, I hit my life. Okay, maybe. Yeah, that's definitely attack then. And then this thing tramples. Maybe I just attack all then. Buy Lurrus, replay Pride. But then I don't have a good. But then I get. Yeah, okay, definitely attack all. Definitely attack all. So I lose 1 life to play a Pride. But I gain 2 life. So it should be fine. Actually, drawing last turn off the bobble and drawing a land and then another land is really strong here. This might be enough. We might still lose to Frog, though. I don't know if we have enough lifelink. Just takes it. Interesting. Okay. So... I actually want to use the Cavern on the Pride because they can't counter Lurrus, but they could have Mental Misstep for the Pride. Oh, they didn't block the Pride. Oh, I see. Oh, that's cool. We saved life. I don't know. I just kind of thought they would block the Pride. We still get a ton of cats at the end of turn. I don't think paying a life for Bobble is what we want to do here, right? If we pay a life for Bobble, we could take... We could draw. Is paying a life for Bobble a bad thing? That's the question. Concealed Courtyard would never. So let's see. I'm at 10. This thing could hit for as much as... I mean, they've already used Ancestral. They can only play 1 spell per turn. Oh, but what if I have to block with this Lurrus? No, I don't have to block with this Lurrus because I'm going to get cats. And I already have the City's Blessing. All right. If I die because of this, chat, you can yell at me. All right. So we're blessed. But I can always block with Lurrus. I mean, actually, a trampler doesn't matter if I get 6 cats. Are we attacking for lethal? 6, 9, 10, 11, 13? They get 1 spell. 1 non-creature spell, I should say. Okay, so they Lorien revealed, and then they can pitch all the cards to Frog, and it's not enough, right? It's not enough. But do I lose on the swing back, though? Wow, Lorien... I did not think about Lorien revealed into draw 3. I was thinking about Ancestral. They did not ever fetch this game, right? They fetched once this game. They just had a natural 3 other lands. This isn't enough, though. I wonder if I shouldn't have played this Vexing Bobble. But if they attack with just Frog, then they block Lurrus and they take 6. Okay, they're not attacking with Frog. That's got to be good for me. I got in a Johnny. I don't have a way to sacrifice And unfortunately, I don't have a red permanent in my deck to do the damage. I'd love to have a red permanent in my deck, but the only thing I could really do without playing red mana was Glimmer Lens, and it was like not castable enough and was being a little weird. All right, so if I were to attack with everything, my Arbiter and my Lurrus would die. They would take 4, 7, 9, and go to 4. Maybe I would lose a Pride. Well, if we draw a Path Exile, we're in a great spot. Playing an Ajani also is going to flip our Ajani no matter what, but it doesn't really do a whole lot besides make another blocker. I do want a lifelink. I could attack with everything but Lurrus. My opponent could have drawn Force of Will here if we crack our bobble. My opponent left anyways. They have to go check on the kid. So we have time to think this through. I kind of like attack all. Play an Ajani, attack all. But I also like... Because, like, what are they going to do? They're going to block both Ocelot Prides? Well, if we draw, my opponent can technically have a Force. Because, like, we want to replay Ocelot Pride, not Vexing Bauble, right? Draw with the land? I guess we could draw with the land. Yeah. Yeah, we could draw with the land. Oh, but if I draw with the land, I can't... God damn it, chat. Now I can't replay the Pride and have a Johnny. I knew there was something wrong with this. Classic chat. They got me. I knew there was a reason. It's okay. It's okay. That was really bad, but it's not the end of the world. We do have good draws for what it's worth. Like Cabal Therapy, I guess I can't. I guess if I draw Cabal Therapy, I could technically crack the Bauble and play the Lotus and go a Johnny and then plus the team and win. Obviously Path is extremely good. Path is like a very easy path to frog attack all. I can't believe I listened. No. Oh, I can't do both because silence. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, this cracking silent clearing was terrible. Classic. That's okay, though. If this draws, I drew a land anyways. Okay, so in that case, let's simply play our Ajani. And then attack with everything that's not a Lurrus. Also, gaining 2 life is going to be really good. Is there a concern about attacking with Arbiter? We probably just don't need to attack with Arbiter, right? Because this is never going to be lethal, but everything else is free. Let's try this. This looks right to me. Oh, I guess my opponent could just simply not block the Pride again. So there's no way to make this lethal without attacking. 7, 9, 7, 9, 11. Okay, yeah. This seems correct. And even if they don't block, it's not even the end of the world. We go up to 11 and we get a million more cats. And they have to draw a bunch of extra damage still. And if they do block on our Pride, we replay a Pride and we do what? +2 plus damage on our cats, probably? Yeah. Well, I think gaining 2 life is important. We're gonna replay the... Oh yeah, maybe we could have just attacked with Lurrus for 3 life. Yeah. This is each player can't cast more than one non-creature spell, chat. You're right. I should have attacked with... I should have just... Well, then in that case, don't we want to... I guess we could have just cashed... Well, no. Do we still need 2 prides? I guess we don't need 2 prides. So maybe we could have... Maybe we could have attacked with Lurrus. Yeah, maybe Lurrus attack was good. Because if they block Lurrus, we flip a Johnny anyways. And they lose the game. Yeah, okay. So maybe... Yeah, I mean, this is why Grim's the aggro master and I am not. I like aggro decks, though. But yeah, chat, this is Deafening Silence. It's about non-creatures, so you can cast as many creatures as you'd like. Vexing Bauble is 0 mana spells, and Arbiter is searching. So we got all those things. If my opponent doesn't block anything, then do we sack Bauble and play Lotus? Probably not. Yeah, maybe cashing in Lurrus for 3 life. I mean, 3 life doesn't help us beat Time Walk at all, right? So what does 3 life help us beat? Is there anything that 3 life actually helps us beat? That's a lot of cats. Oh my god, we got extra cats, chat. We got extra cats because we made a cat token this turn, so we get more cat tokens. Oh, we got an army. Yeah, we definitely... So if I attack with Lurrus, though, and they block Lurrus and a Pride, is it enough? Yeah, it's probably enough. So my opponent's just discarding all their cards to try to find a good card with like a time. They hit the Time Walk, chat. They hit the Time Walk. We lose. That's their one spell for the turn is the Time Walk, and we lose. Sag. He's too good. Inti's too strong. They turned every discard with Frog into a draw card. I don't think we could have prevented this besides drawing a Path of Exile, right? But yeah, so Lurrus would have prevented Bolt, so that would have been nice. Probably a Lurrus attack made sense. What is going on? Damn, Psychic Frog. Too strong. I mean, I don't think Psychic Frog on its own was good enough here. I do believe it had to actually be Inti and Psychic Frog together. But yeah, I'm dead. Damn. Path is a little too far down. I don't think the Arbiter just won. We just didn't attack once. I don't think that mattered. There were like reasons not to attack with Arbiter. Specifically, like a Fatal Push was extremely bad for me. I mean, we did not hit our removal. This is why I think you need 6 removal spells for Psychic Frog decks. I actually think Therapy's quite poor here. They just don't have that many good cards. I'm not really sure Deafening Silence is that good, but it was pretty good there. They had lots of cantrips and stuff going on. Maybe I'd rather actually have a Therapy than a Mental Probe, though. Let's run back like this. This is the kind of matchup I think is actually pretty good for us. Our creatures are really strong, as you can see in that game. The typical Lurrus decks don't actually have enough removal for what we're doing, but they just had enough action there. If they didn't hit Time Walk, that would be the breaking of the back there. Trying to figure out what was yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible that I missed like 1 or 2 attacks and maybe we could have won that game. That's usually the kind of thing you want to review when you're playing an aggro deck. My opponent also made a really large mistake in that game where they tried to cast a Demonic Tutor into my Deafening Silence, so I like this hand. I don't think we... Should we play Deafening Silence? I would rather hold this Lotus for Lurrus, right? The problem is if I play a Cavern on turn 1, I can't actually even play, I don't know, Deafening Silence plus Path on turn 2. Yeah, I mean, it was clear that Inti was really strong there. I mean, they didn't block with Inti later, so it kind of doesn't make sense for them to block it earlier. Though they did have a second Inti. They pitched an Inti to discard off of the Frog. So at some point, if we attacked and they traded Intis and played a second Inti, you can play a second Inti and still play a spell after because Deafening Silence is only non-creatures. So like it might have actually been really bad for us if they traded Inti and Arbiter. I'm gonna see if this Black Lotus gets countered. Putting this up on the stack is kind of a very, especially without playing any lands and tanking for a long time, is a very suggestive action. It may incentivize my opponent to use a force on it. Is that good? I don't actually know. We have a Cavern anyways. But it's like maybe the Deafening Silence matters more to them and we can bait the force on the Lotus, you know? All right, this game we do have a removal spell for a Frog, which is nice. Knowing Amir should have some basics. We saw at least an island, so there is an island to get off this path. One of the nice things about Deafening Silence here, though, is if we hold this path to exile, and my opponent plays like a Mox or Cantrip or something on their turn, then we can follow up with a Deafening Silence. They won't be able to counter it. Petal, Frog. So like right now, I could use my Lotus to path this Frog. I think I can wait until later, though. I'd like to use this Lotus to play Lurrus. But my opponent will probably attack with Frog first, so they are getting value. Kind of unfortunate. Maybe I am just supposed to crack the Lotus. Oh, they're going to cast a spell. Is it Inti? It is Inti. See, that's really unfortunate. Ugh. Because now I can't use my Deafening Silence value. And I feel like I'm priced into pathing, which makes me feel really bad if they have a force or a misstep. I probably would have misstepped the silence, but they could still have a force here. All right, that's good for me. Take the basic island. I still can't attack with my 1/1 into my opponent's 2/2, but it is a legendary creature, and I do have a Caracas. So that's pretty good. No, I think the Ajani is like really, really good. I think the Ajani is more of a reason to play the deck than anything else. All right, so I'm going to actually lifelink off this Pride. And then at the end of turn, I'm going to get a 1/1, and I'm going to get an energy off of it too. It's actually a really good spot now. I also have a Caracas plus Lurrus and Caracas plus my own Ajani. Wasteland. Okay, well, I no longer have Caracas. My opponent has... I didn't think they had Wastelands in their deck, but they do. Did we see a Wasteland last game? Don't remember a Wasteland. So now they replay an Inti. I don't have enough energy currently to jump a cat. And they play their one spell. I don't know if that'll be removal or maybe it'll be a counter. I guess it wouldn't be a counter as I have a Cavern. This is definitely a Lurrus. Ooh, swords. They have a Virtue's Ruin in their deck list. That would be quite bad for me. I have lost to a Virtue's Ruin recently. There's not much I can do about a Virtue's Ruin besides like Cabal Therapy it, I guess. I do want to... So if I play a Lurrus, I do still gain life this turn. It's still fine. If I play a Lurrus and they do play a Virtue's Ruin in their deck list, then it's really bad for me. If I should go look at his last list, though I know it's not the same. Like, he's someone who iterates on their list constantly. Let's just see if he's interested in a Virtue's Ruin. He's got a Soul Rend, Feed the Swarm. Doesn't look like it. So the big thing I'm worried about is if I do get Virtue's Ruin by playing Lurrus, it's just so bad for me. So let's just Swords the Inti and attack. Is there any world in which I cast something off of a drawn silent clearing? I don't think so. I definitely would be interested in just keeping this for lands. Definitely playing it in case I'm at... I guess I'm not at the City's Blessing, right? I'm one short of the City's Blessing. Okay. Next turn, if we play a creature and still have a guide, we can hop something, which is very, very powerful. +2/+2 and flying. Especially when we want to get this Pride in every turn to lifelink. Obviously, we don't need to lifelink as much when we have the guide, but getting this thing a 3/3 first strike lifelink is very strong. Most of the time, I end up just putting it on cats because that diversifies you versus removal. But Taxium Probe into Deafening Silence is quite interesting here. Urza Saga is pretty good against us, but not the end of the world, especially if we start hopping things. And we're going to get more tokens soon as we're going to ascend. Okay, so I will go white mana, buy Lurrus, uncounterable, gets me an energy. I'm just going to replay. I guess I can attack first. Let's see what they do. So if my opponent did like tutor for a lightning bolt, I think they might have tutored for Saga, but if they tutor for a lightning bolt, it's quite bad if we put this on the Pride. I guess that they would end of turn kill the Pride anyway, but then they wouldn't kill the Lurrus. So actually I am going to put it on the Pride. Though I don't have another white mana. So what I should have done maybe is play my Mox for turn. Not sure. My opponent could still have a Virtue's Ruin for what it's worth. All right, we got more cats, more energy. So if they have a Virtue's Ruin... Uh-oh, my opponent said here comes the fun. Maybe there's a Pyroclasm or something like that. Oh. It was Virtue's Ruin. Our Relic Order is quite good here. Those are not good draws for anyone keeping track at home. I can't believe my opponent has Virtue's Ruin. I'm on a white initiative. Why are you ruining the game for me? I could have not played Lurrus, but then I really would have had a huge problem with... I guess I wouldn't have had a huge problem. I could have just not played Lurrus. Maybe a good player wouldn't play Lurrus there. I mean, I kind of thought they just wouldn't have... I guess they have to wait on Virtue's Ruin until Lurrus gets played. Yeah, maybe I just shouldn't have committed into it. I guess. That didn't feel right, but it definitely changed the clock. It made the City's Blessing and made my thing lifelink and fly, and like it was definitely a strong tempo play, but maybe just I think I'm gonna lose to this construct token. I mean, it's kind of unlikely they have a sweeper, right? Like the only thing people play is Virtue's Ruin. But like if they demonic tutored there, they could just demonic tutor for a bolt, you know? A bolt or a push. If they get the Urza Saga back, it comes in with a counter, right? It's really bad for me. I don't know if these things are resolving anymore, but yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it being an overextension. That's possible. I kind of just didn't think they had Virtue's Ruin anymore, but maybe they have to hold Virtue's Ruin because of Lurrus. But like, what's their plan then? Their plan is just like hoping I overextend. Yeah, no one plays. There's like no decks that Classum is good against. No one plays any kind of sweeper in Vintage besides Virtue's Ruin, which just happens to be a sweeper. That's just like the most efficient mono white removal spell. So this is an attack with at least the Arbiter. Okay, yeah, I guess balance is down. Yeah, my opponent could have searched for balance. That's definitely possible. But I don't know. Like, I guess they have to. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's on me. I can just. Yeah, I guess I just have to make them. And I'm getting my basic plane strip mined. Is this a real world? Is this the real world? I'm getting my basic plane strip mined. They can't attack anymore though, because I have an Ajani. Ajani's really good here. I might still win. This is why Ajani is in the deck, Grim. Like, this spot is so good. Like, what are they doing here? How many can I attack with? 2? What is the correct number to attack with? Is it 2? So the problem is if they block and kill, and then I plus my Ajani, it's just not good. I mean, their Lurrus doesn't do anything, and I don't think we're losing on board. I think we're currently winning on board. You think we're losing on board? Why do you think we're losing on board? We have 22 life and on a Planeswalker. They can't afford to flip. Oh, fucking hell. Okay, all right. Well, that's bad. They can only cast 1 non-creature, though. I mean, now I would say we're not in a very good spot. It's still okay, but it's not a good spot. Strip mine. That doesn't do anything. I can't even cast creatures if I draw them. But again, I think it's definitely possible that we lost both games because I didn't play optimally, though, right? Game 1, maybe there was attacks that I missed that were feasible that could have gotten us the last points of damage. And then in this game, I could have definitely have not deployed Lurrus. I was not forced to deploy Lurrus. Is there any reason to hold this strip mine? Like, am I getting to do anything with this strip mine? I mean, we have to attack or we can't win. I guess it's the saga is... Oh, I can hold it for the saga. All right. I mean, if they have Fatal Push, we can't win, right? I mean, if they swing with Lurrus, we would just trade, right? I don't know. Oh, I guess it's life linking. You're saying you Inti onto the Lurrus. I mean, I would still double trade, but maybe that's not good enough. I mean, we are extremely dead, so I don't know if it matters very much. This game doesn't feel like we could lose if there wasn't a Virtue's Ruin in the deck. But also, like, just playing Lurrus out was the problem here, so... Yeah... You can kind of see that. I would hope that if you saw this, game, these 2 games, you can kind of see why this deck would be good against Lurrus decks. I mean, we're just super dead, aren't we? I do think that these creature decks can just overload them. Now I don't have any play, though. My opponent just has a value engine in play, and it's too far. This Deafening Silence was quite good against my opponent, though. I have to say, the Deafening Silence overperformed. I guess I'm taking 1,000,000 damage here and dying. Yeah, it's fine. Hmm. I'd have to go back and look at exactly how much we were doing, but it's probably not enough of a change to warrant running into a Virtue's Ruin. It's weird because I called out Virtue's Ruin, and then I just like wrote it off after they didn't play it for one turn. I'm not sure why. The fact that they had a wasteland for my Caracas in this game was extremely bad for me. Actually, the number of wastelands they drew in this game was really hard to deal with. 3 wastelands. There's just so many games of Vintage are decided by wasteland. Who has more wastelands? No, I would say it's probably mostly play error though. Good set of games though. Definitely worthwhile. All right, round 2 up against Trophy Leader. Typically a Dredge player. Our sideboard is pretty reasonable for Dredge. Main, we do need to draw a Wasteland, though. This hand is pretty garbage. Small again. This hand has a Wasteland, so I'm going to keep it. I'm going to hedge, like, entirely for Dredge here. If they're not on Dredge, then we're definitely in a worse spot. I'd rather play this out around like Mindbreak Trap or something. Most of the times I've seen Red Hot Phil, they've been okay. They're not on Dredge. Instantly punished for my. Is this Jewel? This hand is not going to be Jewel. I need completely. Oh god, I need completely different cards to beat Jewel. I needed my first hand actually. Jeez. I would recommend you play a deck that you're going to enjoy. I'm just dead, by the way, chat. This is by far the worst matchup in the format for my deck. I have not really found viable ways to beat Jewel with this deck. Even with like 4 null rods, it's just not enough. Yeah, I could not find a removal spell for your frog in game 1, Amir, and you found the Time Walk. It was quite good. And then I kind of just put you off Virtue's Ruin after the first turn, but I should have made you cast Virtue's Ruin. Shouldn't play the Lurrus. Those were good games, though. You made Frog into you look very powerful. No, you just can't beat Jewel. Like, it's just not... You just don't beat Jewel. Like, I've tried. I think in my challenges where I went 8 and 4, I think all 4 losses were to Jewel. I think I beat 8 non-Jewel decks and lost all 4 matchups to Jewel, or it was something very close to that. I'm not really sure we can Wasteland here, but like we also can't play Magic, so I don't know. I don't think there's a winning move from my side of the table. Like maybe their own Trinisphere slows them down enough that this is acceptable. I don't know. I'm not sure what the path forward is. But another turn? If I can play a creature here and fly in, it's an extra 2 damage. I guess I don't have a creature or a land, so I can't do that. They pitched a One Ring to hand size? That can't be right. Maybe I should not have wastelanded. This card's quite good here. If I could cast it. I can't believe they pitched a One Ring to hand size. There's no way. Why wouldn't you not just play the One Ring on this next turn here? I don't know. But maybe they're just going to play a Jewel and kill me. I assume that's what they're going to do. I definitely have regrets about my keep. I guess a PO just simply picks up everything and they win anyways. So. Okay. There's no way like a Soul Ring getting misstepped is enough, right? I would assume the answer to that question is no. Okay, all right. I'll just concede. I think we've seen the end of this game. I'm gonna bring in the 4 Stony Silences. I did have some Spirit of the Labyrinths in my sideboard at some point, but I needed to make room for some other cards. I'm gonna bring in some Mindbreak Traps. And we do have some good cards in the matchup, but not very many. Not very many. Mental Misstep is going to take an out. Gataxian Probe is going to come out. We do need to have some number of paths, but I feel like the number is probably 2. No, Johnny... I feel like Arbiter doesn't do anything less. Like, they don't think they ever search in... Well, we can flip Arbiter. We have Cabal Therapy. We can flip a Johnny. We have Cabal Therapy. The deck is designed to do that. They just have nothing off Arbiter, right? There's like no searches in the entire deck. So it's better just to take these stupid Arbiters out and just play like this. Probably. I mean, we have some good cards that make the matchup better. Like we have Deafening Silence. We have 4 Stony Silence. We have Mindbreak Trap. I'm not saying a Johnny's good, but it's better than Arbiter. Like what card is a Johnny worse than here? Is there a card where a Johnny's worse than... I'm all ears, but I don't see it. They have actual factual no searching cards in their entire deck. Right? They don't play Demonic Tutor anymore. And even if they did, they would have already resolved the jewels because they already won. I'm going to hit submit. All right, I'm looking for a hand that has turn 1 Null Rod effect or... Yeah, that's not going to do it. That just does not win. That's probably... might do it. Let's try it. We probably don't need Pride. So I guess we don't technically have another white mana for Relic Warder. I mean, if the Johnny if the Ajani was a Spirit of the Labyrinth, we wouldn't have any chance to win round 1. I'm pretty sure the Ajani is like the reason to play this deck. I'm going to name the One Ring, and I'm going to hope that that's correct. I got the One Ring. Big. Okay. And then next turn we play a Johnny and we therapy Stink in the Stupor. No, that's not the game plan. That's not the game plan at all. Oh, I guess they went Time Walk. Oh, actually, they just have a Jewel here. Never mind. I guess I just lose. My bad. My bad. I should have known. My opponent had their blue source and played Time Walk. What is this stupid deck, man? Crazy. I can't even therapy them back here. So, and then if they can sink into Stupor. So I can't even Relic Warder. That's crazy. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Oh, I don't even think like 1-drop Wasteland was ever my turn 2. My turn 2 was always a Johnny flashback therapy. Yeah, I mean, That's this whole deck. I needed to have a turn 1 Null Rod. They top decked and Jewel. Or we're just dead. Okay. All right. I've seen enough. We can go next. All right. Here we go. Round 3. Got a cat. Opponent does not have a cat. Keep this one. See if this Arbiter is good here. Sorry, if this Arbiter is good here, it's got a lot of play. I just wanted to mostly have... You just switched off Dredge this league. Damn you, Phil. I mostly am just trying to play Cavern to max proficiency. This one has to be Cat, right? Can't be Cleric. No, this one's probably Cat. Oh, yeah. Enchantments are less easily removed. Like, there's, you know, blue can play bounce artifacts, and they do that quite a bit. Am I just getting jeweled again? Oh, I'm getting... Oh, okay. Some real workshops. Thorn of Amethyst. Classic. Classic. All right. Time to just deploy cats until the cows come home. I don't have any Serenities in my sideboard, unfortunately. Serenity is a card that I would love to have, but this matchup doesn't appear very much recently. Well, they have a tapped Mana Vault, dealing them damage. They're locked a little bit underneath their spheres. I've got plenty of lands at the moment, but that could change. And then next turn, we can flip an Ajani. Wasteland. Creatures cost 3. Okay. All right, so is it more damage to play in Ajani? This thing costs 2, so we're never casting that. It's more damage if I play in Ajani and then plus, right? I play in Ajani, and then Ajani flips, and I do 2 damage this way. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. Definitely want to get a Planeswalker in play, so... Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure plussing is better than zeroing as well. I can always get rid of all their artifacts with the plot. Yeah, let's get attacking. I have 9 power in play. I love a Johnny. Card slaps. Actually, we should have a lethal attack next turn. That's crazy. Ooh, an Ajani game. Let's go. Spirit of the Labyrinth could never, Grim. Actually, I don't think I could ever possibly win this game if I had 2 Spirit of the Labyrinths, huh? Unfortunately, I don't really have sideboard cards for this matchup, as this matchup doesn't really exist. At the very least, Cataxian Probe and Mental Misstep can come out. I mean, are we bringing in Stony Silence? I don't even think Stony Silence is good. Like, they have Stony Silence, they have No Rods in their deck. We kind of need the Moxen more than you. What am I saying? I'm saying 3 ones that have no text don't beat Workshop. I'm just memeing. What am I doing? Maybe we bring some Mindbreak Traps in here. Bobble. Man, some of these cards are not good here. And by some of these cards, I mean all of these cards are just not good here. I guess it's Deafening Silence. Maybe we bring in some Flash Containment Priests. I mean, I'm playing a 3-1 instead of playing a Planeswalker that pumps my team and makes dudes and also cataclysms their entire board away. Be serious. Oh, I forgot I Relic Water. Relic Water's a good one. I mean, Trap is better than playing some of the other cards I was playing. I'm not saying Trap is good, but like, I mean, is it better than a Containment Priest? I guess is the question. This Containment Priest is my only castable card, so. My opponent has mulligan to 4, so I'm going to say this Mindbreak Trap is not online. Uh-oh. All right. Maybe they'll play Lotus, Mox, Golos, and we can trap it. Sapphire? Wasteland? Torpor Orb? It's kind of cool. I haven't seen that. That's so good against my Relic Warder. Ocelot Pride looks like the play. That is not an ETB. That's a good one. Can you beat a 1-mana 1/1 mythic? That's the question here. Just the highest power format in all of Magic. We've got turn 1 Torpor Orb versus turn 1 1/1. Hope I draw more planes. No, there's a Dismember. Oh. Oh. Never mind. So, should I try to hold out for Lurrus, or is that like super greedy? We could just play 2 2/2s, which seems like a better idea. Well, I can only play, yeah, I can play 2 2/2s. All right, I'm gonna play 2 2/2s. This would be so good against anything that wasn't Torpor Orb here. Should I hold this Strip Mine? It's worse if I draw like another Wasteland. I want to buy Lurrus, so I think no. Oh, I mean, that's true. But then we have like no good cards to like interact with our opponent. I don't know why you hate Ajani. Ajani is basically better Luminarch Aspirant. Grim is being weird. I mean, like, sure. Cut a Johnny, cut Therapy, cut Relic Warder, cut Arbiter, and play your Mother of Runes or whatever, and play your nonsense 1/1 deck. like that's a different way to take the thing. I think that's a different angle. Something you can totally do. I think these 2/2s are gonna win the game, by the way. I probably should just wasted my opponent. Maybe I was greedy. I don't know. Basic Plains is real good here. Haha! Cabal Therapy. Got him. Oh, yeah. The Pride and the Guide are sweet for sure. But this is going to be a Golos. Tireless Pilgrim. Oh. I see. Okay, I can't stop anything. I'm attacking. Okay. They got mana. I was thinking they didn't have mana. They got mana. Yeah, Ancient Tomb, that's more mana. Cabal Therapy, perfect. I mean, I think we're gonna win anyway. I think we're gonna win anyways. I can't beat a 3/5, okay? If they play a 3/5, it's a problem. I needed the name Golos. I got wastelanded. I didn't even strip mine. Oh no! I want a cat. The classic Tabernacle. I bet they have Golos in their deck. They have Tabernacle. The clock is like... therapy. Too strong. All right, what do you got? What do you got for me? You got a creature? Oh, workshop. Crucible. Attack for lethal. Oh, vintage, baby. That is something else. Okay, here we go. Round 4. Opponent is 2-0, so we should hand them a cat loss. Do they have a cat of their own? No cat of their own? I really would like it if my opponent started playing more cats against me. Because I don't feel like I beat the decks that don't play a cat. Uh-oh. Got a Wasteland, though, so when they play Bazaar, we're good. And by good, I mean we're probably still lost, but it's okay. Oh, it's Countervine! They said my Vintage Vanguard video inspired them. All right, well, Cavern is good against Countervine, and Wasteland is good against Countervine. Cabal Therapy, probably not, but I did cut the Tabernacles from my sideboard, and I don't have Leyline of the Voids in my sideboard. Why am I playing against Sphere Shops and Countervine? What happened to the Vintage? This is like acting like those are good decks. The problem is Cavern on Spirit is not actually good against Lurrus. Cavern on Spirit is good against like Jewel, and that's about it. And I don't think like Spirit of Labyrinth makes your like Jewel matchup so good that it's worth it. But like the Lurrus decks just play Bowmaster and your Spirit is terrible. Oh my god, they have double Vengevine. Oh, they passed the turn. Well, maybe I can Wasteland them and they don't have anything. I drew a 3rd Cabal Therapy. All right, I will admit, drawing 3 Cabal Therapies is not what I had in mind. I will admit that is not the game plan. Are they just gonna... Oh! Chop. Okay. Oh, I could have played around that one. That one's on me, chat. That one is on me. Oh, I didn't want to like show that. Like, if they had another Bazaar, I was snap conceding. I didn't want to show them off-color Moxen. I didn't really think there was a super way that we would get punished. There's a lot of reasons. All right, I'm gonna start by casting Cabal Therapy, and I'm going to name Force of Will. I mean, that Force of Will doesn't do anything. What do we name? I just want to get cards out of their hand. Subtlety. Oh, subtle. Well, if they had Noxious, they would just Noxious in response. So, Subtlety is a card that's annoying, actually. All right, well, they don't have a Bazaar at the moment, so we're actually okay. All right, so this one I will in fact name. I don't want to. I guess I have 2 Caverns now, so it's fine. Subbed. Oh, subbed. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna name Cleric. And I'm going to get a 1-2 in play, which they can't beat. I will admit, subtlety is not a word I frequently write. It is a word in my vocabulary, but it's not a word I frequently write. Strip Mine. That's okay. It's not a Bazaar. Every turn they don't draw a Noxious or Bazaar is a good one for me. Hit the Scrubland. They don't even care about Cavern on Cleric. Oh, hey, look at that. I can get my 0 mana back. All right, get in there, Guide of Souls. We're getting close to a Lurrus. As long as my opponent doesn't draw one of 3 Bazaars or one of 4 Noxious, I think we're actually okay. Wasteland is that good of a magic card. Ooh, an Ajani! An Ajani! I love a good Ajani. Oh, I guess I should maybe therapy first. Just in case something bad happens. We'll just like name another subtlety, maybe. Subtlety. Oh, we could never beat a Vine in this game. Agreed. All right. They have Master, Master, Hollow One, Root Walla. Okay. I'm going to play in a Johnny. I'm going to get 2 things and get my guy flying. And then I'm going to therapy away the token. Flip my Ajani. I guess I'll just name Hollow One, right? And then I'm going to make a thing. Oh, I guess this means they can attack. It's kind of annoying. I guess I'll just hop. I guess I'll just hop. So I'll just hop this thing. Now I think we can't lose. Ooh. Oh, now I don't have enough to get 2 things. All right, we'll just make another dude. Gain another life. Fly a Lurrus. Play a Wasteland. Attack. Got him. Wasteland Gaming. Wow, my sideboard is bad for Countervine. Holy shit. I built this sideboard with Dredge and Oath in mind, not Countervine. I have freaking Rab Traps and Containment Priests. It's so bad for me. Oh, these cards are not good. I do have a Vexing Bauble in my deck now, though. That card's pretty good. I think you still bring it in. I think you still bring it in. Especially when I have this many bad cards. We're trying to play cats. So there's not enough. You gotta play white cards to play cats. I do have a video on my channel somewhere playing the Guide of Souls Ocelot Johnny deck inside of a blue shell. So there should be a video on my YouTube channel somewhere. This Arbiter has no text. 0 text. I don't... So this matchup can be playable if I had ley lines in my sideboard. But I cut the ley lines because there's no one playing Countervine. Is a turn 1 Ajani good enough? Probably not. I need a Wasteland. All right, this has a Wasteland and a Swords and an Ocelot Pride and a Mental Misstep. Okay. Yeah. I just have to hope my opponent doesn't put too much free power in play because I cut the Tabernacle from my sideboard because this deck doesn't exist. Sometimes you make a metagame call, and sometimes you play against the deck that doesn't exist. I should not have made this the second video in my Vintage Vanguard series. Okay, that was not that bad. 1 hollow one? 1 hollow one? Just 1 hollow, two hollow ones? 2 hollow ones is a lot of hollow ones. Maybe a Black Lotus? Oh, okay. Can I afford to not Wasteland, though? Like, I have to Wasteland. It's just so much damage. It's just so much damage. I just have to waste. What if they counter one of my spells? I die. The best Delver ever printed. Nope. Wait, that's a Source of Pleasure. Nope. Oh. I'm dead. Well, I tried my best, chat, and my best was not good enough. This deck forced everyone to play Tabernacles for years. And then the minute it goes away, the minute I get rid of my Tabernacle, all right, well, I can no longer win the game. I'm going to concede. All right, I'm going to try to resolve turn 1 Vexing Bauble. That'll show him. That'll really show him. Oh, man. I legitimately cut 4 ley lines, 2 Tabernacles from my sideboard before the stream. Yeah. I mean, Tabernacle is not that good against Dredge. It's actually good against this deck. Okay, wait a second. What about this one? This one could be playable, right? We've got a Rab Trap for like a really rough thing happening, and I'm gonna try this one. If this was a ley line, I think this hand is actually great. Because these cards should beat some hollow ones. I think they kept another 7. Never mind. I'm just dead. I'm actually just dead. I got mental misstepped again. My Countervine opponent's not keep 7 challenge. Impossible. Yep, I cannot hit these squeeze because Root Wallet does not go to the graveyard. Thus, I cannot Mindbreak Trap or Ravenous Trap. I'm gonna play these and get furied. They just played 1 Root Wallet to play around Rab Trap. They didn't even bring anything back with this bad boy. Like a beast. 3 squeeze. Help a guy out. 1 squee? They have a second Bazaar? Second Bazaar? Pyrokinesis! No. Not like this, man. This is bad fury. It hits Bowmaster, so there's a reason. I guess that's why they held back their other squee. Should I have Rab Trap that 1 squee? Maybe. All right, it's okay. I just baited the Pyrokinesis so I could resolve my Ajani. No, never mind. Scratch that. Pitching a subtlety, sure. Okay. Yeah. All right, Vengevine, squee. I got a good Rab Trap. Pew. All right, I need a land now though. Okay, yeah, that surely resolves, and this surely resolves. Okay, we got resolvers. The game continues. Bro, imagine if I had a ley line. Is this another Pyrokinesis? Just kill my board? Kind of what it feels like is happening here. Maybe they're gonna like Noctis Revival my Rab Trap or something. Oh, Force of Vigor on my... Never mind. Leyline would have just got Force of Vigored. Only 1 card left in hand after this activation, though. I just want a Cavern, I guess. I don't know. Okay, 2 Bazaars. Okay, and a Root Wallet. What card they keep, chat? Hollow Boy? Hollow Boy. Okay, come on. Give me the mana to cast a Leonin Relic Warder on the Hollow Boy. That might not be bad. Ooh, hold. They should activate an upkeep. They should activate an upkeep there. No, I think we're okay. If I block... Can I block yet? Hold on, am I allowed to block yet? So if I block, I make a 2-1, I block, and then I lose my... No, so I can't block until I get another cat, right? Like, if I just play an Ajani, if I just flip my Ajani right now, it's not good enough, right? Because they have too many attackers. So I just need to wait one more turn. True or false? What if I plus? I just die. Okay. I don't think I can block yet. If I had a land in my hand, I could block. I mean, I want to block. I get, what, 1 turn to draw a land and a creature? Because I don't lose my Ajani right away. What's like my percentage chance to hit either a creature or a land? I've used 3 Guide of Souls. So I have not that many 1-drops. Any plains or cavern is good enough. Any no, not a removal spell is not good enough. Okay, I think I have to wait one more turn. Well, the rush is kind of like I don't get to flip my Ajani. But maybe with a Vexing Bauble that doesn't matter, especially because I've already gotten 2 Vengevines away. Maybe it doesn't matter then. I hit the cavern. I mean, this is so good though. Like, this should... I guess it doesn't matter if it names cat or cleric. If I get wastelanded or strip mined, I guess I would rather this name's cleric. No, cat's right for Lurrus, probably. I mean, now they don't even have a Hollow Boy. This is uncounterable Relic Order. Game is over. Game, set, match. I feel very lucky. Wow. All right, welcome to the 5th and final round, up against my friend and teammate and travel buddy, Dan. Also, Eternal Weekend top 8er. I assume Dan is playing some kind of Lurrus control deck. This hand kind of sucks. Ugh, I don't know about this hand. I mean, it's part of the tech. It's not a big deal. Like, you can just play swords there. But you have arbiters in your deck, which kind of negates the downside of paths a bit. And you do care about life totals and killing big creatures in Vintage without giving them a bunch of life to try to race. We have some swords in the board for what it's worth, just to get enough removal. My opponent has mulligan to 5 here. I do like Vexing Bauble against Lurrus, though not as much as I used to. They have 7 forces in their deck, and they have like Bauble loops and Moxen and stuff, so I do like Bauble against them. It's really weird because sometimes those decks play Bauble, but... Bauble will help us resolve our path and our Lurrus, so... Blue, black, ruby, demonic. Huh. So I don't... maybe this is Grixis, like a breach deck or something. What I'm going to do is assume my opponent played... I think they got an Ancestral Recall. So what I'm going to do is play a Bauble, and then I'm going to therapy their Ancestral Recall. And hope it's Ancestral. If it's not Ancestral, then I'll therapy whatever else is in their hand. Ancestral Recall. Yeah. Their hand is Force Gush against Vexing Bauble, and we took the Ancestral Recall. Based and good. I guess I don't need to therapy anything else, and I can work towards getting a Lurrus in play. All right, well, I think we're in a good spot now. They drew a land so they can buy Lurrus, and then I can therapy Lurrus. They might not buy Lurrus because I could play a creature and flashback. I guess I can't flashback therapy with Bauble in play, but Oh, looks like they're gonna go buy Lurrus. I do have a second therapy in my hand, though, unfortunately for my opponent here. Poor Dan. This is so good. Oh, I tried another therapy. All right, I keep drawing therapies in threes, which is not exactly ideal, but... Lurrus. Got him. I guess it's worth just buying. I guess if I get wastelanded, that's the downside of buying a Lurrus here. But I want to play a Lurrus. I can't flashback my pedal with my Lurrus, which is a little unfortunate, but maybe at some point I'll crack this bauble. They have no fetch land for like a Fatal Push or anything, so... What is this? A Delve spell? It's pretty good. All right, so I mean, the problem is if I crack Bobble, they can Gush. Is that good for them, though? Well, they can't do it right away. I do want to draw a card, though. I guess it's fine to just lead with a therapy here. Well, the other problem is, like, if I don't therapy their force, they're going to force my Bobble on the way back and open them up to actually cast things. I'm not even sure it's that bad if they play Gush. The problem is if they have like a mental misstep or a negation off of this. Yeah, they hit negation though. All right, I don't want to crack into that. Negation, spell pierce, gush, ponder. All right, I'll just play deafening silence and attack. So they are on breach. So they get to ponder. But this deafening silence is very good against breach, and we resolved it with our bauble. So I can also hit their red source with the relic warder. We don't need to like cycle bauble every turn. They can only really beat Deafening Silence with Psychic Frog. That's how we lost to Grixis Lurrus earlier in the tournament. We can't play the pedal out of our yard because it will just get countered. It's definitely some anti-synergy here. Like, I can't cast any of these therapies, pedal with the Bobble in play, but the Bobble is definitely doing stuff for us, so... Yeah, we lost to a 10-power Frog in round 1. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Bobble is good against Dreadhorde Arcanist, so... That's pretty good, too. Bobble's also good against my Mox Sapphire. There's no reason not to just attack, so... I mean, like, because the thing that gets flashback doesn't get it gets countered, so... They really need to have some kind of, like, bounce spell in their deck. Like, that's kind of the nice part about enchantments and Bobble. They're kind of hard to remove. Yeah, I just don't think we're going to do that because my opponent has a negation in their hand. And if they negate my Bobble on the fallback, it's really bad. No, guys, they have a negation in their hand. If they negate my Bobble on the crackback, it's, like, really bad for me. Ooh, they drew a frog, but we have a path, so it's okay. That's another card I can't cast through Bobble. It's crazy. So they get to get a basic island, but I guess it's fine. I can like make them wait. No, I just want to attack. I just want to get in there. I could make them discard cards, but I don't think that matters either. I definitely wish we were drawing creatures and not all of our non-creature spells, but that's okay. I can't attack through this Arcanist with this Warder, so I'll just hold it back. At some point, they can 5-mana cast Gush. So, like, at some point, theoretically, chat is, like, somewhat right? We can crack a Bauble and flashback a Therapy to get rid of a negation. But, like, I need a creature to do that, right? And I don't currently have creatures. All right, so if they found a Fatal Push, they can crack here and Fatal Push my Lurrus, which is extremely bad for me. But I don't think I can beat it, so... I guess I could have a flash in a Bowmaster as well. I don't think they have a Bowmaster. I think he's playing my my list with 2 Arcanists and 4 Frog. I'd rather hit the red source. There's a Bolt in the deck, so... I guess he has Hardcast Negation now, too. There's also a Mystic Sanctuary for whatever that's worth. Ponder is really good. So, like, what we're trying to dodge here is, I'm assuming my opponent's deck is this deck or something similar, is Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, Fatal Push. But this is, I mean, the minute we get Fatal Pushed, we're definitely not doing anything. Chose not to shuffle. I think we have to keep the Bauble in play for the whole game, unfortunately. I do think that's the case. There were like possibilities earlier on, but now I don't think we can afford to get rid of it. My opponent can still have Fatal Push or Bolt because they couldn't cast it last turn because of Deafening Silence. They can also Gush. All right. So now they can't Gush to pick up their Volcanic at least. So we can now freely Wasteland this. And Wasteland this. My Deafening Silence and Vobble still lock them down. So we're not losing, but we're not making progress anymore. But we have lots of creatures in our deck to draw, and all of them are okay. Well, Ocelot Pride might not be okay right now, but... We can even draw a Johnny and flip a Johnny immediately, casting a countered Therapy. Or we can just draw more therapies. Doesn't do anything. I mean, I'll cast it on like a Fatal Push or something. If I draw on a Johnny, I don't know. There's 1 Fatal Push left in the deck. I can't get through this 1/3, and I'm just not drawing that. I mean, it was it was so good. It took Ancestral this game. We would have 100% lost without it. I mean, this game, it took an Ancestral and a Lurrus in this game. Therapy was amazing. I mean, the fact that we have drawn 1 creature in 17 draws is pretty impressive. My opponent is discarding the hand size. Arbiter. I mean, that dude attacks. I guess I will cast a Cabal Therapy. I mean, they're just going to Spell Pierce it. And I don't want to pay. Yeah, screw that. I'll just cast an Arbiter. It's not bad. It doesn't really do like a ton, but... The fact that we have a Bauble and nothing can get Force of Willed is good. Still can't. Next turn, we can start attacking. They're at 5. The Deafening Silence Bauble has held the line. I've drawn a bear. Oh, paying costs? Probe, draw a card. Based. Yes, agreed. It is a bit too many. Another Arbiter. Okay. Attack. I think we're gonna win with bears. Oh man, what a great game. Perfect. Just how we drew it up. Just how we drew it up. I mean, I think playing a frog doesn't matter here, right? Yeah. I mean, they just drew one card. The problem is we know they have a Spell Pierce in their hand, so like our therapy is always getting countered, so it doesn't really help too much. All right, we got the game 1 win against a Breach deck. We're gonna bring in multiple more swords, and unfortunately, I don't really like any of our other choices. I don't like Relic Order that much. What else is in my deck? What am I bringing? The problem is they're going to have 6 removals, five removal spells post board. And then they're also bringing in Stern Scolding. They only have... I'm not really sure it's correct to bring in Stony Silence, though. Doesn't feel like it's amazing. Rav Trap doesn't really look good. Mindbreak Trap doesn't really look that good either to me. Maybe we don't even want swords. Like, they're only on 6 creatures. I think we might just run it back. I'm gonna run it back. I'm not really seeing the vision. Yo, thanks for stopping by, Grim. Hope you have a good one. Ugh. That is a lot of Path to Exiles. I'm not going to really mulligan against my opponent's deck. Their deck is fundamentally a Delver tempo deck that has an Oops, I Win in Breach. Oh, there are Wastelands in that deck. Yeah. My opponent has mulligan to 5, stating that they had 3 different hands where the only mana source was Wasteland. I don't know. Like, I put more lands in that deck. The deck has 18 lands, so I don't know. I'm gonna get him on island. Nope, never mind. My Path to Exile is just better Swords to Plowshares. I do love that. Draw the island, turn on my Path to Exile. The enchantment frame looks pretty good. It looks really weird on Urza Saga, but that's the only one I felt like it looked weird on. I just don't think they were ready for an Urza Saga to have that frame, so it just kind of doesn't make sense. Have to wait for Modern Horizons 4 reprint Urza Saga. New frame. I'm going to play the Basic Plains and cast the Guide of Souls. Powerful vintage play. MTG Fallout, like the set? Unfortunately, all the interesting cards in the MTG Fallout set had to deal with beating Urza Saga. And now I don't feel like there are cards that are interesting from the set. Here's like a Sloth, which you can play with Dark Depths, which is kind of cute. And there's like Over Encumbered, which is an anti-Bazaar card. That's okay. But in general, nothing makes me super happy. Gosh! Oh, they time walked. Yeah? Menendine would approve of that Gush. Maybe. I assume. What do I know? I haven't read the book. I like to think about what would be in the book and act like I read the book instead. Put Lurrus in hand. Gush to put Lurrus in hand. You know that's not in the book. All right. I'm going to play an Arbiter. Might get countered, though. Opponent has 7 cards now. Might be annoying enough. They don't want to see it. Yup. Force of Will on my... Oh, pitching Brain Freeze. Actually great for us. Now we can't get Brain Freeze comboed, though. We can always still get multiple Breach spelled comboed. Maybe they only have fetch lands. Don't know. Island. Pass. Arbiter. Wasteland. Arbiter. Oh, you're just talking about like the... I mean, I think the cards feel like Fallout cards, if that's what you're saying. That seems true. I've only played a little bit of the Fallout 3, I think. Not too much. Don't open up a Universes Beyond conversation. We don't need that. Unfortunately, I am just attacking here. My opponent has a Fatal Push on my Arbiter. All right. I have too many Path to Exile. This is why I didn't want to bring in... This is why I didn't want to bring in the swords. If my opponent had the full 8 creatures, then maybe we bring in more. They do have a Lurrus coming at some point here. I'm going to buy my own Lurrus, though. If they buy a Lurrus, they don't really have anything to get back with the Lurrus, because the deck I created doesn't really play a lot of things besides creatures to get back with Lurrus, so... Fetch land, maybe the reason that these Arbiters had to die. We do have Path to Exile for this Lurrus, though, so... A 3/2 lifelinker can't stop us. Is it Lurrus or is it a Delve Spell? Delve Spell, on the other hand, is quite bad for us. Kind of looks like a Delve Spell. Yeah. That's not great. I also don't have anything to bring back immediately with Lurrus unless I hit a Mox. If I do hit a Mox, though, we'll go for it. This has been a pretty cool stream. I think I've showed off what I wanted to with the cat deck. I think everyone can see the vision now. All right. We drew a Mental Misstep. That's actually kind of an interesting one. That might make me just play Lurrus on this turn. Because we actually have some coverage for another removal spell. I should have maybe held open Plains instead of Scrubland. I didn't really consider that. Can't bring back a Arbiter yet, but... They only have 3 pushes and a Bolt left. So maybe they have multiple pushes. They do have to find a fetch land or something to push with. We've got some paths for frogs. I wonder if I'm not supposed to path this frog as it turns on Revolt. It's kind of annoying. I can wait. Yeah, I'm playing it because it's cat themed. Exactly. No. I think I'm still going to push the frog now. Path the frog now. All right. They have no more lands, I assume. Basics. Yeah. Do you have a push that I just turned on? They do. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite me too hard. Force backup. All right. So this did come back to bite me. I could have waited till my turn, played an Arbiter out of my yard, and then pathed. Maybe that was just the play. I don't have a follow-up creature, so yeah, maybe I'm just getting punished again for playing too greedy. This has happened a couple times recently, even today on stream. But I have more paths. So now my opponent doesn't have a force now for my path for Lurrus. So like there's definitely upside to this. But I had 3 paths, so Vexing Bauble. Just gonna cycle that. Like a creature is really good here because it gives me an energy and lets me jump the guide. Ponder's good. Yeah, I guess I just needed to get an extra Arbiter in play before I got pushed. I thought that maybe having Mental Misstep would be enough, but it wasn't. What'd they pitch? They pitched a negation. Interesting. Another frog? Oh, they found another delve spell. No? Yeah, they found another delve spell. Wow. Very good. No land? I really could use a creature. I drew the other path to exile. Please, game! I'm playing, what, 17 million creatures in my deck? I swear. I swear. There's a red land. Is it an Arcanist? I mean, it's not bad. It's certainly not bad. But I'd be a lot happier if I had more creatures. Maybe I will run out of paths in this game. It's possible. A cat. Oh, a cat, chat. An uncounterable cat. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, an uncounterable cat. We are energy. We are modern now. Get in there. Jump the guide. 3 damage. Are we gonna get there? Are we gonna beat Lurrus? Another Ponder. Only the highest power vintage on this channel. Welcome, Doomrake Raiders. We're modern tribal gaming. Modern Horizons gaming. With Path to Exile. In our cat-themed aggro deck. Trying to get a winning record. Dan's gonna be so mad when he plays a frog and I play my 4th Path to Exile. How many frogs are left? 3 frogs and 2 Arcanists. Yeah. I mean, we're almost lethal attack here. It's close. What do we got? Off the top rope. What do we have? No, my Ajani. Dedge. Another Ajani. Another Ajani. Another Ajani's lethal, right? Because it makes me jump another unit. Screwed that up. My opponent says he screwed that up. I don't really know how, but... Oh, we wanted to hit the guide. Ah. I drew an Arbiter. That does not give me enough energy. I probably don't need to play the Arbiter, but it's fine. All right, I'm attacking for 5. I've got a lot of lethal threats in play. I don't believe my opponent can have enough removal here. Oh, a Bolt. Oh, I see. So what Dan was talking about is Dan wanted to push Bolt the Ajani and push the Souls. Oh, it's a nice frog you got there. It'd be a shame if it went to exile. I used every path, baby. Every path. Yes! Cats! Cats! Dan is sad about the mulliganing, but fair enough. We got there with our cats, and that is what matters here. 3-2 with cats, Cavern on Cats in Vintage. I hope you enjoyed this video. More like it on my YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.